lion, today is the fire, today is the power, today is all of that.
Yeah.
And we're not going to need, Julia, longer than you have. As long as you have, that's all we're going to need.
Yes. Perfect. So
Okay.
let me do a quick intro. All right. Hello, everyone watching the replay. Today we are on day 3. We will be talking about the archetype of the lion. We will be talking about making bold moves, having the courage to speak, having the courage to roar when needed, and mostly just tapping into that warrior within, that peaceful warrior within in balance, and bringing the light, bringing the visibility, bringing the energy, the leadership, and the energy of transformation and transmutation. So Juliana is going to lead you through a little bit of Q&A, and always, as she beautifully does, channel through whatever is ready to be birthed in these 5 transformative days of connecting to our elemental harmony.
Thank you, Marty. We'll see you later. So,
Thank you.
Julia, did Marty go ahead and check all the boxes on that Ayurvedic Hindu side? She is much more in tuned and intentional. Like her intentions are to really be in that pool, that skill set. Do you feel like she tapped some stuff for you?
Yeah, and Mari, are you still on the call?
She's
Yes, I'll be kind of here while I'm doing something else.
Okay, so can you just like in summary, I know we did like the risk test,
yes.
which showed that because I think I want to like say it out loud and make sure I'm saying it correctly that like from the little bit of testing that we did, like I tend to be like hummingbird and elephant, but can you remind me like it was
Turtle, lion, and butterfly. So we have the turtle, we have the elephant, we have the lion slash tiger. Then we have the hummingbird is the air element, and the butterfly is the ether. So I will tell you, Julia, that any system, any philosophical or spiritual system that aims to kind of make sense of our inherent ability to toggle between abilities, balance is always going to be the key. Even though we say like, I used this example yesterday between the Chinese and the Western zodiac, I'm a Cancerian snake. Within the Chinese zodiac, I'm a fire snake. That doesn't mean that I can't, and that I don't have tendencies that are, goat-like. Goats are clingy, they're codependent, but it's in the transcendence of the role, right? We are really in this moment of wanting very much to go, who am I? And so we look to indicators, form indicators, whether it's the day we came into this world, using numerology, using the zodiac to go, what am I supposed to be doing and how am I supposed to be performing so that I have maximal peace within me? Mari wants to say something super quick.
Yes. So what we identified basically is that your imbalance right now is in fire, right? Because you're saying that you're having trouble surrendering and that you're having trouble using your voice as a roar. That you told me you were having a little bit of trouble using assertive communication and really to avoid conflict. And so it's the lion here today, or that symbol of claiming that inner power and confidence that solar plexus, or just your ability to speak your truth, right? To be in your truth through your
Say
voice.
your lines. Say
And
your lines, right? You're performing, you're on stage. This is your stage. You got to say your lines. Go ahead.
exactly. So today is a perfect day because Juliana is beautiful at embodying the fire element, and she is so assertive with her communication. She can say things so directly and so beautifully with so much love at the same time that it helps me a lot because I'm more the one that's like, well, kind of, maybe, sort of, my feelings were hurt, right? And I do a lot of airy hummingbird shifts that I don't need to do because there's just maybe a part of me and my self-confidence that needs like a little bit of a clutch. And so I can't say things as directly. And so I I really value the way that Juliana communicates so straightforward, and it's something that I learn, right? Sometimes to learn to be in that element, we can connect with other people that are already embodying it really beautifully. And so um and so the other really quick thing about the fire being out of balance was that you're in the rush energy, but your body's actually asking you for patience. So all of this is the fire, right? Of the competition of I want it now, I don't want to wait, it has to be now. And the frustration or anger that can cause. So that's the quick thing I wanted to say about what we identified through this is that the missing element for you right now is a little bit of fire. So Juliana will lead you through a beautiful thing with that.
Julie, thank you, Mari. Julia, we know there's a difference between confidence and arrogance, right? We know there's a difference between grandeur and grandiosity. There's an inner knowing of within all of us of how powerful and how infinite and how whole we actually are. The level confusion that results is when we use these five senses and we look outside. Maybe it's just at our current life state, at what's going on in our life, or we look at our relationships, we look at our past, and we start, as we look, you can't look in two directions at once. You really can't. You can't hold opposing beliefs and be peaceful and harmonized and make a sound decision that passes the test of perfect peace. So we have to recognize that if we don't acknowledge the true, unchanging, formless, energetic beingness that we really are, we're not going to have a solid foundational referent to play this game. You know, we're all using our minds to agree to join in a realm of a dimensional realm that is constantly in flux, that is constantly changing. And so, how do you find stability in something that, by its very nature, is unstable? And so, then bringing it down to your microcosmic life situation or anybody's, we've got to recognize you have some tools. The soul, the field of energy that chose to play this game and focus its attention into this dimension right now, did not come unprepared, did not come with absolute, tabula rasa, blank slate. It came with intentions and it came with a map. And so this right now, the roar and the fire that Mari has mentioned, you are needing to dial up. Keep in mind all five elements, all five animals. You have a little bit of every one of them. When we say my elements are in harmony, this is a two-pronged situation here. They each, in the moment that you find yourself in, are expressing themselves in the proportion that is needed. And I love that you're writing this down. Remember that you will have a chance to hear this in the replay, because this is important right now, right? So the balance is in your confidence and faith that your action will be aligned when you let go of fear, when you let go of doubt and worry about doing it precisely, perfectly, the way you're under the impression, or the way these outside influences are telling you it should be done, and the timeline it should arrive, and all of these things. As you make the determination to let go of fear, and you call in from whatever symbols you need. Like I said, I'm not over, there is a Ganesh sitting in my back office, but I don't have any other aspect. I think it's very interesting. I don't have any other aspects of the Hinduism, and I don't even know what the name, the umbrella term is, funny enough. but I have all these different little symbols. There's a Celtic cross in my waiting room. There's a lotus for the Lotus Sutra, the highest teaching of Shakyamuni Buddha, which is the law of cause and effect. So all of these things, we're bringing them in, and we're really saying, we're trying to use them as a map and as a legend to read the map of our journey. The greatest clarity will come to you, and this is universal, it will come to anyone when they acknowledge their energetic identity and the fact that that energetic essence and that energetic vibrational being is not vulnerable. It is not corruptible. It can't go wrong because its entire permeated intrinsicness is perfection. No, you will not be able to embody it because by the very nature and essence of the rules of our game, the body is perishable. You cannot fit the eternal or define it in the perishable. The eternal is eternal. So as we play this game, as we're here and we're looking for little hints where you said, tell me what I'm supposed to know. Tell me what all of this means. The clarity will come when you quiet your mind for just long enough to gain that kind, calm confidence to then speak. Trusting that what is coming through you in the moment is the line that you as the director, the screenwriter, the star have agreed to recite. This is where the fire comes in, the light, right? The fire brings light. And that ability to enlighten a situation has to be unencumbered. If you allow that fear to sneak in, if you allow that doubt to go, well, how is this going to be received? It doesn't matter how it's going to be received. If from a perspective of purest intention, you are allowing your voice to be used, then do not judge what comes out. Because you're allowing whoever is the receiver of what you've just said, you're allowing them a chance to practice the 4 agreements, to not take anything personally, to not make assumptions, to have the courage to clarify. I'll give you a specific example right now. My agreement with Madi over this 5-day event was that my part begins at 12 noon. I may show up at 11. I may show up at 11:45, but concretely, I promised to be here at 12 noon. Here's what happened. I didn't come in early today. I came in early the first 2 days, and Madi was not releasing me into the meeting. And immediately I thought, okay, it's all good. Then she shot me 2 messages that says, it's just me and Julia on the call. And there was a delay. And I'm like, well, that's okay that it's just you and Julia on the call. Let me into the call. But you see what happened for a fraction of a second? I was like, okay. And then she said, so I got the hint that maybe you didn't want to participate today. I didn't make any assumptions. I didn't launch an attack. I sat patiently on my little chair. I looked at my 5 words, aligned action, leadership shifts, and surrender. And I said, when I'm supposed to come in, she'll let me in. But there were other things that the ego wanted to say, like, Madi, are you letting me in or are you not letting me in? Like, it's okay if this turned into a one-on-one today. But then there was that other part of me that said, but the event must be all encompassing. And as I had that kind, non-attacking vibration, here's Madi listening, and with her good, hi everyone, as she felt the kindness and the patience within me, boom, she opened my mic and my screen. But the doubt, right? The doubt and the fear within us, and then we start making assumptions like, well, what's going on? Well, don't worry about what's going on. You hold space for the highest outcome. You go ahead and sit and be patient and trust that no one's against you, that we're all on the same side, that oneness is all there is, and that the original thought is love, and that's it. Hope that's enough. I hope that love is enough. And everything in divine time and order will collapse from the quantum field into your experience. Why is the fire important? The fire is important because it brings the light. We cannot see in the darkness. We cannot make out the forms and the lines and the shapes in this world. We cannot if we don't allow the light to shine in. Where is the light? Who is the light? You are the light. But you're also in charge of its vibrance, of its degree of dimness. Really, all light is all there is. Darkness is not a separate thing. Positivity is all there is. Negativity is not a separate thing. Negativity is simply the effect of a blocking, of a gradient turning down the radiance of light. But it isn't something separate. In fact, negativity doesn't exist. And it is our own minds playing this game, many times misusing our imagination, miscreating, but thank God, there's a limit to your miscreation, but using our imagination to conjure up things that simply cannot be. Love and light is the only reality. If there is the slightest distortion of love, you're using your free will to block your awareness of it. You're not making something else that's viable. Nothing but love and light are viable. There is no opposite to life. Death is not the opposite to life. Death is the opposite to birth. But beyond birth and death, there is life. And life is eternal. And life is all powerful. And life is infinite. And if you're under the impression that that's not true, there's a disconnect between who you really are and the earthly experience you're choosing to have. And so the Ganesh does what? It clears distortions. I hope I remember this correctly from the last 20 minutes. The Ganesh surrenders limitation. The Ganesh sacrifices, gives up, right? To sacrifice something is to give it up in the hopes of something better to come along. The Ganesh sacrifices what was never useful, what was never valuable, what was never really needed to allow what was always there to be clearly seen, felt. Is all this, you feel it? I'm so glad. So Swami tells me that Ganesh is oh, Mari, all I can see is 5 words in my little thing. Julia, I follow all the shiny squirrels, all of them. I chase them, I tickle them. And so I have to be very careful because right now, thank you, Mari. Right now, if you want to hop in, Mari, and say something, please do, because my bandwidth is very narrow.
Yes.
I'm here with Julia. So if you want to say something about what Swami does really quick, go ahead.
Swami, do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, if you entered,
Yes, okay. So this is Swami Kenna, and we met 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years ago in Pereira in a retreat that he was leading with some other Ayurvedic practitioners, acupuncturists, and yoga teachers, and just Tai Chi teachers, and all of these amazing people. Oh, and energy healers.
Mhm.
And he has a message for us.
Yes.
Welcome.
And he did tapas in India.
In India and America.
And I think he wants to share a little bit about something.
Okay.
Please.
I will explain what tapas is. In Sanskrit word, it means burning. And so what we're burning is actually karma, action. And what happens if when you start calming the mind down, and if you get to a point where that concentration gets very strong, you start burning that action away. I could even feel it moving out of my arms and legs as I meditate. And in the tapas, one had to do at least 10 hours a day to get that going. You can't get it just meditating for 10 minutes. You'll have to meditate for hours. And finally, you get breakthrough this illusion. And when you break through the illusion is when you're seeing that light you talked about. And the light gets more clear. And when you say the light gets clear is when you open your eyes, you're seeing the clarity in all form then too.
Yes, you're seeing that divinity in anything that your eyes gaze upon and land upon.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Julia, anything coming up? You want to ask Swami anything? Swami, nice to meet you, by the way. I
Gosh,
thought Mani was saying that Swami was like another, symbol, and then here he is in, a holographic form, contributing so beautifully.
Whereabouts are you living?
I'm in North Carolina,
North Carolina. What part of North Carolina?
Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Oh, Acha.
Julia, where are you?
I'm in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. I'm coming to see you guys. I'm going to come see you and Yolanda and Stephanie. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's
So
amazing.
happy. So, how's your timeline, Julia?
I can push it a little longer. Trust me, I don't want to get off this call. I have a call with my accountant. I'm still like doing yucky capitalist
Good.
Western world problems.
Let's I can relate to you. So let's go ahead and empower you to approach that call with no fear, right? This is the biggest thing, that the biggest message. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all encompassing can have no opposite. So as soon as we accept that truly, in our truest essence, there is nothing to fear, then we can go ahead and show up in the game, no matter how scary the scene is set up, and see past it. We can see beyond and through it. So the leadership shifts that are part of aligned action is knowing when to take the lead and knowing when to practice the art of allowing, knowing when to not resist. In fact, non-resistance is really your best way to go, always non-resistance. And so they go together, allowing and non-resistance. And what happens when you don't resist, you're acknowledging the divinity and the appropriateness of the free will within every aspect collaborating in your earthly experience in that moment. You don't have to necessarily agree with what's happening. You don't have to vote for it and condone it, but you do. If you do not acknowledge that it is part of the one, you are blocking and misusing your power of awareness. The power of awareness has to, basically by its essence, it acknowledges all that is and the freedom and the divinity within all that is. So when we come into alignment and centeredness with that thought, with that idea, my accountant tells me all the time, the IRS are wonderful people. They're really great people. They're playing a game, Julia. Here's the game. You have to pay to play. And if you've got a really great accountant, and if you ask the ether/spirit/infinite intelligence how you can go ahead and allow yourself the most valuable experience in business, in this game, the answers will come to you of where to put things in those categories, of where to shift, this item from this column to that column. And before you know it, it's not going to be remotely as scary or as unjust to you as you thought it was going to be. Everyone thinks that the IRS is this big, strong monster that wants to, take way more than its quote unquote fair share. I want to tell you, I really have gotten some wonderful downloads. The IRS is actually scared that eventually everyone's going to say, hey, we weren't supposed to be paying income tax past this certain little period of time, 80 years ago. So they're quaking in their boots. You don't need to be quaking in your boots. The surrender,
Oh no.
but not that you are. But the yuckiness, because I get it, it's this transactional type of relating that you have to do. It's no judgment and all the judgment. It's gross. But just focus on it just in the moment you need to. Surrender the fear. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. And when it comes time for you to speak, fear of what someone else is going to say about what you have said. Even that, if you can let go of the weight that you may have given someone else's opinion about your process, about how you show up, if you can understand that your significance doesn't fluctuate.
Do you feel ready to go to the dentist?
Marty, you need to mute your.
Is this okay?
No, you don't. Maybe.
I'm a little sweaty. I hope they don't mind that.
Oh, this is
I
good.
really worked up a sweat.
But if you want time to freshen up or something, let me know.
They can't hear us, can they?
Yes, they can.
Not right now.
Oh, good.
No, they can.
Oh, they can't? Oh, sorry.
Thanks, guys. All the love. Okay, so back to this squirrel. I lost it. It's all good. Where was I, Julia?
We were talking about the IRS.
No, we weren't talking about the IRS. We were talking about, thank you. We were talking about if you could accept that the lines that you have written for yourself to recite, that if your purest intention is to bring value to a situation, then you must surrender your doubt that the way you delivered the message, the semantics, the symbols of symbols, words are symbols of symbols. You must surrender the idea that you didn't choose the right words. And I really encourage my clients to stop apologizing. Sorry has no place in a conversation. The definition of sorry is inadequate, lacking. You could not be more inauthentic to your true self to say the word, I'm sorry. There's an absolute misperception. And it is time that we stop saying, I'm sorry. What do I say? I say, forgive my arrival past the time we agreed to meet. Forgive my lag in returning your text. Forgive my lag in replying. And I have to say this daily. I have to start my email from, an online inquiry that came 36 hours ago, because somewhere within me, I want instant. Why do we want things instantly? Let me tell you why we want things instantly. Because in oneness, there is no travel time. There is no lag in communication. There's only one thought. There's no need to wait. Everything is occurring right now. So we take that memory of reality and we try to reflect it down here. We try to make it correspond down here. And we go, well, if someone needs something or wants something from me, and there's this collaboration waiting to happen, I should be able to make it happen instantaneously. Good luck, because there are another 10 such collaborators, co-creators, waiting to cross physical paths with you, to converge in this realm with you. And you can't, by virtue of the dynamics of the game, the silly, petty game, you can't show up for all 10 of them 100% at the same time. These are the things, the surreal things that we have to stop wanting to be real. You shouldn't want limitation and finiteness to be real. This is a moment of accepting, like, this is an insane, unreal thought. The second part of that thing that I said, the opposite of love is fear, but what is all encompassing can have no opposite. The second part of that is nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Nothing real can be threatened. The only thing in our humanly, earthly world that passes that test of unthreatenableness is energy. Start identifying with your true self, the self with a capital S, that there is only one of. You're the only one here, Julia. You're talking to yourself, and I'm talking to myself. Oneness is all that is. If it can be threatened, it's an illusion. It's not wrong. It's just an illusion. Why are we splitting hairs about something that isn't real? Why are we in the movie theater yelling at the screen, at the projection, calling the actors, the characters, all sorts of names? Why are we doing that? Because we want to play a game. Because we want to distract ourselves from what in this moment our awareness finds highly fearful. We're afraid of our own power. You know, people will come up with these ideas of why did perfect oneness fragment itself? Hey, newsflash, perfect oneness did not fragment itself. You think it did, but the power of your belief, even though it does amazing things in this world, cannot fragment perfect oneness. Be glad, rejoice that this is true. Rejoice that you can't be broken, that you can't be, that little pieces of you can't fly off and leave you, render you incomplete and flawed. And from that vantage point, say what you are meant to say and trust that you have said your lines exactly the way they were supposed to be said. Cool. Do you have anything else for me or us? Because there's all of us. A lot of us will be watching this, later on.
No, I got a lot out of the using your voice, and my whole thing is always coming back to love and removing fear. And so I love being in these spaces where the topic is about letting go of fear and
Yes.
that nothing real can be threatened. And yeah, so I'm grateful.
It's impossible for you to fail if your starting point is love. That's it. And anything you do will be an extension of that.
Yeah. And if there's more that you had for today, I'm happy to
No. Julia, it's really cool. I have surrendered the way that I used to, show up. I really asked Mari, what's the theme of the day? And I opened myself up as an instrument, as a vocal instrument, as a conduit. We're all conduits, by the way. We're all mediums. That is one of my divine functions, to tell everyone that you're a channel of communication between the infinite, between non-physical and this physical dimension. Not everybody likes the way that sounds. Not my problem. In fact, we have no problems. The only problem we think we have is that we're all separate, and that we're separate from the source of energy that gave rise to us, and that actually, makes us infinite and eternal. That's the only problem we have. We think we're separate. So ultimately, we have no problems. I like to tell people you have no problems. You really don't. But the big three things she had was aligned action, leadership shifts, and surrender. And whatever poured out and whatever, made whisked this beautiful marinade together, that's exactly what was supposed to happen. So I'm so happy to have caught you today, to have caught you in my net.
Yeah, thank you, Juliana. This was beautiful.
My pleasure. All right, Mari, I'm gonna go ahead and step off, and we'll see you in Puerto Rico, Julia.
Yay! Thanks, guys.
Welcome.